Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Amadara Mills, coming to you from the Ocean Whispers Villa 13, located within the scenic landscape of Samaan Grove. Since our last episode, our team has been traveling all across Tobago, looking for the major stories happening on the island. It's all just for you, our treasured viewers. And in the next half hour, we'll bring you the details. So sit back and relax because it's time for Let's Talk Tobago, starting with the headlines. The Eco-Industrial Development Company Limited, E-Idcot, hosts an ideation workshop to benefit stakeholders of the Tobago business community. The island welcomes its newest accommodations property. We'll tell you what the buzz is all about. You'll also get the opportunity to meet one of Tobago's National Award recipients, the third member of her family to earn such an honor. And later, we get a look into the TOMAC Afrofusion Celebration concert with the appearance of Nigerian artist Burna Boy, highly anticipated. We have all these stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago returns. Stay with us.
This is paradise, where the vibe's so nice. Say whoa, say whoa. Welcome to paradise, you will feel so nice in Tobago.
In our first story, it's the mandate of the Eco-Industrial Development Company of Tobago, E-Idcot, to encourage economic development and diversification while focusing on environmentally sustainable production of goods and services. E-Idcot recently hosted an ideation workshop for the Tobago business community, and we have the highlights. More in this story. Rojas Engineering Limited is a Tobago-based metal fabrication company and a tenant of the Eco-Industrial Development Company of Tobago, E-Idcot, since 2013. This company is always looking for ways to push its creative boundaries, whether that's via its custom manufactured products, marketing, or branding strategies. So an ideation workshop spearheaded by E-Idcot in partnership with the Caribbean Industrial Research Institute, CARIRI, is an ideal opportunity for this business. Josanne Rojas appreciates being able to explore how entrepreneurs can turn ideas into viable products or services.
We have to engage in sessions like this where we can meet new people, learn new solutions, and continue finding different ways and solutions of growing and developing our business.
Participants learned about the steps involved in the idea process. They include identifying problems that can be solved, learning how those problems affect others, designing solutions, and testing those goods or services through market research.
This session is going to help them not only with product innovation, process innovation, service innovation, and it's going to help individuals understand how they can better utilize their own creativity from themselves or their employees to help their current business, or even to create new spin-offs where they could have other lines of products or services.
A lot of people have the ideas, but it's about just bringing it to fruition. So that's why we're helping, we're holding hands, we're doing what it takes. Like I said, E-Idcot is not just a landlord. We're about bringing our tenants along and making sure that they thrive and develop in their business.
Just over 20 business representatives took part in the one-day session. One of them was owner of Real United Entertainment Center, Dr. Alimayu Chadband. Dr. Chadband values the interactive and dynamic nature of the event.
The group discussions have helped us to broaden our mindsets. For instance, today we had a discussion where we had two targets, like a restaurant setting, and to come up with new ways to deal with some of the problems and challenges, such as should there even be a fixed menu, should the location be fixed, and things like that. And these are some of the problems we encounter on a day-to-day basis when we're running our businesses. So just engaging in the discussion and coming up with the ideas helps us to realize how much we can do and how much we can get that extra boost in terms of getting our business out there.
Following this workshop, E-Idcot plans to carry out other similar sessions to provide local business owners with the appropriate skills for starting and expanding their enterprises. Now, we share with you Tobago's newest accommodations property. Seclusion Villas and Conference Centre is seeking to put its stamp on corporate and business events in Tobago. Here's how.
Tobago has added a new business accommodations property to its tourism product. Seclusion Villas and Conference Centre was recently opened in Crown Point. It will add quality accommodations to this island's room stock. According to the management company, Seclusion also brings a new experience for corporate and business events in Tobago.
The villa-styled accommodation with ample communal areas can enhance social and networking opportunities during company retreats, for example, hosting events, and for corporate collaborations.
The area includes a sheltered pergola, a swimming pool, 2 villas, and a conference centre.
Thank you. Thank you for trusting Tobago. Thank you for taking the chance. Thank you for taking the risk. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Once you invest and you take your time and you are trusted by the people here, it is a place of loyalty.
Councillor Tashia Burris is quite satisfied with this newest addition to the island's accommodation sector. She says visitors must have access to quality room stock. The Tourism Secretary believes Tobago must move from barely surviving to thriving when it comes to its tourism products.
It is crucial, now more than ever, that their entrance has signaled the strengthening of our accommodation sector. Accommodation is essential. It attracts overnight tourists, and that is something that we need. We need more persons coming into the island to stay and vacation. And that requires persons like Mr. Maraj and his group and others to see Tobago as a real option for investment. Seclusion Villa and Conference Centre will also play a role in boosting our potential as a MICE destination, and MICE meaning meetings, incentives, conferences, and events. Over the years, we have demonstrated promise in that area.
Seclusion's location at Palm Eagles Drive, Crown Point, also means greater convenience to visitors using A&R Robinson International Airport.
World Food Day isn't just about the grand 2-day exhibition. People can also participate in free educational sessions facilitated by the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. Here are the details from the first seminar on the World Food Day 2022 schedule. Take a look. Understanding the science involved in animal care can bring healthier livestock, higher yields, and greater profits. That's the goal of this livestock seminar held at Kendall Farm School. Participants learned about the risks that livestock production can pose to humans and how to limit those dangers. The risks include the exposure to and misuse of chemicals, as well as physical injury when handling animals. Veterinarian Dr. Paul Crooks believes such seminars help farmers improve how they manage their farms.
These types of sessions are incredibly important for keeping farmers aware of best practices. See, what happens is even where farmers have been trained 10 years ago, the reality is how we use medications, our recommendations for care of animals changes all the time. So I would always recommend that farmers stay up to date.
Discussions also surrounded poultry management. This involved looking at common diseases in poultry. They range from infectious diseases like the avian pox and Newcastle disease to non-infectious conditions like malnutrition and physical trauma. Dr. Crooks stresses that proper care of animals can help prevent the occurrence of many diseases.
All animals, whether they are human animals or otherwise, should be kept at the appropriate temperatures in the appropriate environments. They should be given adequate amounts of nutritious food. They should be given unlimited access to clean drinking water. And in many instances for farm animals, unfortunately, those aspects are neglected. We should be proactive and work to prevent disease and keep animals in as good as health as possible.
Farmers and home gardeners appreciated the knowledge shared by Dr. Crooks. Some even plan to use the information to improve their livestock operations.
I decided to attend for information purposes, and also I am thinking about getting into livestock farming, so it was ideal. Because I learned about how to take care of the chickens better, how to keep the environment safe, and that stress is the main cause of diseases in livestock farming, it would assist me more in rearing better animals.
This is my first time rearing animals, so I basically came for information on how to maximize the profitability and minimize losses. So today in particular, I found it was very interesting in terms of how they references like biochemistry and cleanliness, and how that is important to the farmer and avoiding diseases, etc. It is a very great initiative, especially given the economic climate that we are in now. So in terms of divisiveness, that is something that we could use it for yourself, for to reduce the bill in the supermarkets, or even if you're doing it for production, it could be an alternative source of income. So I find it's a very good initiative.
This educational session kicked off Tobago's World Food Day 2022 calendar of events. There are other seminars on the agenda. Topics include wildlife, fish-related activities, and forage for livestock. It's time for a break, but when we return, we'll introduce you to one of Tobago's national awardees. It's coming up when Let's Talk Tobago returns.
Welcome to paradise. You will feel so nice in Tobago. This party island, the vibes it's strong like white rum boy. Party sweet on the road. From your reach you go low.
From 1976, she had an under-15 high jump record that lasted 15 years. In 1998, she became the first Tobagonian to be certified as a netball coach. Now, in 2022, she's received a national award for her decades of work in sport. To find out more about the stalwart, who is Charmaine Archer, check out this story. Retired sport coordinator Charmaine A. Archer is the third member of her family to become part of the Distinguished Society of Trinidad and Tobago, of which the president is chancellor. This honor comes after Miss Archer was awarded the Hummingbird Medal Silver for sport in the area of netball. She was honored at this year's National Awards ceremony.
It is a good feeling because you're recognized for the hard work and dedication that you would have put out, and it also indicates that your contribution was a significant and impactful one.
Miss Archer has been involved in sport since childhood. She attended Burna Boy Government Primary School, where she competed in track and field. Her passion continued at Bishop's High School in the form of basketball, netball, athletics, hockey, badminton, and tennis. Her administrative abilities revealed themselves during her secondary school days. Decades later, Miss Archer has retired, having held various management positions, particularly in the field of netball. This national awardee believes that sport is critical to our society's development.
It brings so many people from varying stratas of society together. It does a lot for us in terms of healthy lifestyles where you get involved in sport and sporting activities, and it also provides avenues beyond being a sportman for persons to pursue their careers in life.
In 2006, Charmaine's mother, Annetta Archer, received the Hummingbird Medal Gold for education. The senior Mrs. Archer was a well-known educator who opened a preschool, the Canaan Nursery School, in 1947. It's an academic institution that's still molding and developing young minds today. In 2019, Charmaine's sister, late sporting icon Martha Archer, was awarded the Hummingbird Medal Gold in the area of sport. Like Charmaine, Martha was also heavily involved in netball.
I call myself a member of our elite family. It's an honor to, to be among them, but it's just that we come from a family where I think volunteerism and giving back and that stuff is just etched in our DNA. We just used to that, we grew up into that, and all of us, we just love being a part of something that you do responsible and rewarding activities, and it's a good feeling.
Aside from Miss Archer, Tobago had other notable names on the national awards list. Athlete Dwight St. Hilaire, Hummingbird Medal Gold for Sport Track. Athlete Akani Hislop, Hummingbird Medal Silver for Sport Track. And retired Permanent Secretary Vel Lewis, Public Service Medal of Merit Silver for Public Service and Heritage Preservation. The scenic seaside village of Lambo wants to be all that it can be. So the community is stepping up its visibility and togetherness to show just how much Lambo has to offer. They started with a fishing tournament, as you will see in this story from Crystal George.
This is what you call community pride. The village of Lambo is on a drive to foster greater togetherness in the area. So, the new Lambo Village Council executive embarked on its first official activity, with the aim to revive this seaside fishing community.
The executive, we decided that we needed to find activities or a activity to generally to start to get the community back together, to show that love and to work together and to have something to fellowship.
Lambo Village is teeming with life and energy. The blowing of the conch shell to alert passers-by that there is fresh fish available, or the melodious voices of the fishermen announcing their catch. Kingfish, redfish, dolphin, snapper. The fisher folk line the pavement with their catch of the day. So, according to President Kurt Moses, the first activity was a no-brainer, hosting a fishing tournament.
Lambo has a lot of fishermen. I think it's one of the villages that sell one of the most set of fish on the island. So yeah, that was one of the main things that we came up. And fishing is a sport that helps relax persons. It's a sport that persons love to do. It's a sport that's good for family. And Lambo has the environment that you can stand up from the shore, off the wall and fish it.
PRO Alison Thomas says this event is the first of many to come. She says the community is intent on showing that it has as much to offer as other Tobago villages.
We want this to be a calendar event and Rise Back Lambo. Everybody must hear about Lambo. You must hear about Castara, hear about Mariah. We want you all to hear about Lambo.
To keep up with all that's going on in Lambo, as well as future activities, visit the council on Facebook at Lambo VC. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
Even with the countdown on to the main event, World Food Day 2022, Kendall Farm School is doing more than just offering training for established and prospective farmers. This time, the school hosted an open day. Here's more in this story. Eggs at a subsidized price was the main attraction at Kendall Farm School's open day. This was just one of the many food items on sale. Despite the inclement weather, residents did not miss the opportunity to purchase their share of goods, including plants, seedlings, preservatives, vegetables, or ground provision.
I find it is something that is very great and affordable for the people and them who cannot afford to buy on the outside market. They come here and get full requirements of the eggs and other produce like corn and cucumber and other things that we have.
It's a very good initiative because it is showing people that the said produce in the field, we can use it to make different items and that we have to go back to the way of agriculture.
A plant clinic station was available for those needing expert diagnosis of their crops' ailments. Educational sessions for students were also on the agenda. Principal of Kendall Farm School, Kishel Percy, gives some insight into the purpose of this agricultural center.
It's responsible for training, right, farmers and public, well, members of the public in different agricultural aspects, both in demonstration and theory. And today we're just showcasing a little bit of what we really plant here and what we do here today.
I will encourage others, when they have these things, I will encourage schools to take part in these initiatives. I encourage children because children have a certain concept of farming and agriculture, and right now they are seeing how important and valuable it is.
The event was part of the World Food Day activities taking place throughout October. Other open days have been scheduled for agricultural stations like Hope Farm, Louis Dore Nurseries, and Goldsboro Demonstration and Training Center. We have to take another break, but don't go away. Let's Talk Tobago will be right back. Stay with us.
Welcome to paradise. You will feel so nice in Tobago. This party island, the vibes it strong like white rum, boy. Party sweet on the road. From your reach you go low. It's back and a non-stop. This song go leave we and come back, boy. Party sweet.
October is the month of entertainment in Tobago. Carnival is just around the corner, and just before the grand festival, it's the Tobago Music and Culture Festival. Everyone knows who the headline act is, so let's just get straight to the details in this story from Crystal George.
Young cast, last, now everybody go to breakfast.
When you hear this line, it can only mean one thing. The African heavy hitter is gearing up to grace the shores of beautiful Tobago. TOMAC, the Tobago Music Arts and Cultural Festival, has been on everyone's tongue for the past month because the festival is about to host one of the biggest events on the island. So, what is TOMAC all about?
The TOMAC Festival, as we call it, Tobago Music Arts and Culture Festival, was born out of the pandemic and lockdown as a follow-on to some work that the Pride of Tobago Foundation, Catch the Wave Solutions, we had begun to support young entrepreneurs and the creatives in particular in Tobago. And in conceptualizing the festival, it was really about a passion and a purpose to give back to Tobago. So this TOMAC, Tobago Music Arts and Culture, speaks to itself. Tobago first at the forefront.
TOMAC will feature one of today's hottest international artists, Grammy Award-winning Nigerian Afrobeat star Burna Boy, aka the African Giant. Organizer Corelli Lyon says this is more than just a concert. She sees the event as an opportunity for Tobago and Nigeria to connect across the diaspora through its common lineage and heritage. Meanwhile, Lion says getting Burna Boy here was only possible through divine intervention.
It's a coming together of our peoples with unique talents to take on the world and put ourselves on the world stage. His Excellency, the Nigerian High Commissioner, has come out and endorsed TOMAC and the festival. And there it is we set about, we said we are going to bring to Tobago one of our Nigerian brothers or sisters, and Burna Boy came about.
Ms. Corelli says it wasn't easy getting Burna Boy here, but through prayer and faith, Tobago will witness history in the making.
My Nigerian brother, sitting out in Nigeria, says to me, my sister, why don't you call Burna's mom? So I'm like, call Burna's mom. He said, yes, I can send you her number. Expressed to her and shared with her what our mission and purpose was in this reconnecting with Africa, reconnecting, recognizing that many of us have roots in Igbo and some of the other Nigerian tribes, and the rest is history.
Organizers of this TOMAC event are ensuring no stones are left unturned during this 5-day festival. So it will include
a very important segment that is going to be provided throughout on each day of the event, and that is what we call DNA testing to determine your roots, your ancestral roots.
TOMAC, which runs from October 23rd to the 27th, is just one step towards this goal. October 27th is the main event, but the festival will feature a series of events starting with the opening ceremony on Sunday 23rd. All events will be held at Plymouth Recreation Ground. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
We stay with the TOMAC Festival, which is being promoted as the Caribbean's premier sustainable cultural event. It's set to expand visibility and knowledge of the Afro and Caribbean lineage and heritage across the diaspora. The festival will feature a very special celebration. We have more in this story.
Of course, when one hears TOMAC Festival, the first thing that comes to mind is African musical giant Burna Boy. But there are other aspects of the festival that will connect its audience with its African heritage. The backdrop of it all is Plymouth. Wondering why?
The area that is now a beach, I guess, was considered an important port. It was a natural harbor, and so it was easy for ships to come in. So the Dutch came in, the Colanders came in, and they were followed by the British and the French. The British made a settlement here in Fort James, and there are forts that were also set up by the Dutch and the Colanders. Right, so it became an important town under the British.
Plymouth's own Lord Nelson will also be honored as part of the festival. This is being done as a symbol of empowerment. October 24th will be deemed Lord Nelson Tribute Day. It features a walk in history, Nyam Yard, Picnic Yard, a festival village stage, and the Lord Nelson Love Day concert featuring Kess the Band.
You can come from humble beginnings and reach very far. Now, at 91, you are still performing. At 91, you are still being heaped honors on you, and nobody would have thought that a boy from a fishing village would end up on the world stage being quoted by everyone. So that the whole idea behind that, this and the location, was to merge and create a heritage village.
Literary workshops will also be hosted, along with e-commerce seminars. Dr. Pemberton says it's all about holding on to traditions and strengthening our African identity. Schools around the Plymouth-Bethesda district will also enjoy a special activity.
What we call the I can, you can, we can activity. It is about getting rid of material that would be normally considered waste and finding other ways to repurpose them so that we do not have a buildup of garbage.
This festival is a social enterprise that uses art, traditions, and cultural experiences to build bridges between music, sustainability, and the good of humanity.
We've come to the end of yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago. And as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For more on Villa 13, you can contact Janelle at Pint Sites Paradise at 497-9263 or Candice Washington at 312-9735. From our house to yours, I'm Amadara Mills, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and very productive week.